everyone, my name is Tim and I'm one of the leaders at the Vine Church Poole. And I hope you're doing well and you enjoy this 5-minute video. As a church, we're going through the Gospel of Luke together. And we've been going through it week by week and we are on week 7. Therefore, you've guessed it, we are on chapter 7. See, Luke on chapter 7 describes 2 healings. One was a healing of a centurion servant, and the other one was a widow's son. The centurion servant was at the point of death, and the widow's son was dead. The centurion comes to Jesus in faith, and he says to Jesus, "All you need to do, Jesus, is say the word, and my servant will be healed." Whereas the widow, she was weeping. And who can blame her? Her son had died. We would be in a similar situation if one of our family members had died. And Jesus sees this widow weeping. And Jesus responds in compassion to her. In both of these stories, we see Jesus is able to do the impossible. He's able to do something outside of this natural world, something miraculous. He's able to save someone from death and save someone who has already died. Also, what I love about these stories is that there is no one method that Jesus works in. There's no one approach to come towards Jesus. See, for the centurion, he came to Jesus in great faith and is an example of the faith that we should have. But the widow was just there weeping and crying, and Jesus responds in compassion. See, Jesus is not a robot that works to a set formula, but Jesus is an actual person who loves humanity and understands that we are all different. Some of us are going to be with great faith, and some of us might be weeping. The thing about Jesus, he wants us to come to him with everything. He wants our whole lives. He wants us to give everything to him. After these 2 healings in Luke 7, it goes on to describe that there is 2 people that came to Jesus. They were sent by John the Baptist, and they ask Jesus this question. You ready for it? It says this: "Are you the one who is to come, or shall we look for another?" We see that Jesus doesn't actually respond to their question. Jesus has this track record of not responding to people's questions, but instead, Jesus heals the multitude. He heals people with long-term diseases. He heals sicknesses. He heals people who have evil spirits inside them. He heals the blind, and the list goes on and on. He heals lots and lots of people. And then he goes back to these 2 people sent by John the Baptist, and he says, "Go and tell John what you have seen." So Jesus doesn't answer their very simple question. Are you the one who we've been waiting for? Are you the Messiah? Are you the one that we've been anticipating? Are you the one that all these prophecies have predicted who is coming? Are you the one, the king we've been waiting for? He doesn't answer the question directly. But what he does, he proves to the 2 people who he is. Jesus sort of says, I'm not going to respond to you verbally. I'm going to let you make your mind up. I'm going to show you who I am. And then you can decide who I am for yourself. See, this poses a question to us. You've seen what Jesus has done in people's lives around you. You've heard about him. You've witnessed him in your own life. You've seen it with your own eyes. You felt it in your heart. Everything he has done. And Jesus will pose the question to you in your homes. Who do you say I am? Yes, you. Who do you say I am? It's your time to decide if you believe in me and trust me with your whole life. That is the question that is on for you in your homes. Then the story goes on, and Jesus gets invited around a Pharisee's house for food. This is really interesting because just before we get to this part, Jesus is actually being accused that all he does is eating and drinking. And just to let you know that Jesus did do a lot of eating and drinking. Jesus often advanced the kingdom through eating meals with different kinds of people. And that is how one of his ways of advancing the Gospels. So he's at the table, and this Pharisee and Jesus, and probably there would have been a few other people in the room and would be eating with them. And he would probably spend quite a lot of time with them. They would have probably chatted about life and things that are going on in their town and in the world. And they probably would have been chatting about the Old Testament as well. And a lady interrupts the meal. And we know that she is recognized as a sinful woman. And she stood behind him at his feet, weeping. And she begins to wet his feet with her tears. And then she wipes them with her hair and kissing them, and then pouring perfume on his feet. The Pharisee is stunned, absolutely stunned. Who would allow a sinful lady to do this? Jesus says this. 2 people owed money to a certain money lender. One owed him 500 denarii and the other 50. Neither of them had the money to pay him back. So he forgave the debt of both. Now, which of them will love him more? Simon replied, who's obviously in the room, I suppose the one who had the bigger debt forgiven. And Jesus says, you have judged correctly, Simon. You are right. See, what is Jesus saying in this? He's saying this. I came into your house. I did not receive water for my feet, to clean my feet. But this lady comes weeping at my feet, and she sprinkles the most amazing fragrance, the most amazing perfume all over my feet. She knows the meaning of a debt being cancelled. She knows what it means for Jesus to say, you are forgiven. The remarkable thing about Jesus is that his forgiveness is for everyone. His forgiveness was for the Pharisee, the sinful woman. His forgiveness is for me, and it's for you as well. And when he's in that room with the Pharisee, he's eating this meal and they're discussing and they're talking. Jesus has forgiven that Pharisee, and he's forgiven that lady who's widely known as sinful. See, in Jesus' eyes, not one of them is better or worse. However, one of them was more moved by the forgiveness and grace she received from Jesus. Remarkable. So to summarize, in Luke chapter 7, Luke reminds us as the reader that you have seen Jesus, what he's done in your life. You've seen he's forgiven you. He's healed you. But who do you say I am? I want to encourage you as you're listening to this. Think about the things Jesus has done in your life. Think about the little things and the big things, the amazing things that Jesus has done in your life. And then ask yourself, who do I say Jesus is? Don't sit on the fence. Make a decision for yourself. And the amazing thing about Jesus, that he forgives us all. Not one of us is better or worse. Not one of us, it could be a Pharisee or the sinful woman. But we are all forgiven. How are we going to respond knowing that we are forgiven? Thank you for tuning in to Luke chapter 7, and God bless you all.